and I didn't think that necessarily he was going to pass. It definitely not with flying colors. And I just remember taking in the event at the O2 Arena, I believe, and it was like they came up from the outside, and you see the people like trying to go in, and it looked all like Gotham City type, right? And you see people dressed. It's a gala affair. Like you see people dressed to the nines, and you realize that Anthony Joshua is a major economic
draw.
Yeah,
like he's a star.
Wow, this dude is really like a heavyweight champion, and not only is he driving that much money in, but then across the ring from him, you got one of the biggest guys in the last 3 decades when it comes to being on top and dominance and name recognition and cachet and all that stuff, and then so that was just the build up for the fight, but then after that for the actual fight for it to come down. Those dudes, and we've seen this happen with Kenan Brundage and Seichu Pao or whatever. For some reason, like we were talking about the last show.
Yeah.
When you throw a punch, there are certain punches that are expected after that go in the normal rhythm of a combination or whatever, right? Yeah. And these guys both threw the same punch at the same time, and Klitschko's was was 1 inch off, and AJ's hit him on the button, and it was such a hard uppercut that when they slowed it down and they had an action photo of it, it literally looked like
his neck was being
Watermere's head was like one of those
decapitating.
Like one of those. It looked like one of those Pez
Rock'em sock'em. Rock'em sock'em.
Yeah, it was like, ooh.
Yeah. It's funny, man, that you say that, but that was. He has that awkward right hand, so it's hard to defend a person that has an awkward stance and reach. But Coach Paul Harauber was talking about that Tim Tszyu has gotten settled here in Miami. So we were down here yesterday in a boxing gym. But yeah, I saw that, Coach Harauber. I saw that they were actually talking to him, maybe on something local and stuff. But yeah, he's definitely gotten, like, you can't come here and not stay here. Like, I mean, everybody's right here. Like, bro, it's like no one, if you've come and you got money, like you're not gonna you can't. It's like, it's your own, it's your paradise. It's Dubai of the United States. Yeah. Like, you can't not just stay. That's just like saying, hey, once you come to LA, you say, well, I'm gonna leave. Like, huh? It's like you can't just leave places that got everything that you could ever imagine, and the people and the opportunities and it's so different. That's why proximity is power. Like, we want to feel like we go on a vacation. If we want to feel like we're going on a vacation, we just open our eyes. You get what I'm saying? Like, cause
I go on the drive. I'm like, oh, everybody going on vacation. I'm gonna take a drive on a 101.
Yeah. I mean, when you got, tropical ice, it's like 82 degrees. Where is it? It's 82 degrees in the United States of America. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm in total shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take off short sleeves. Like, I don't want to have to put on gear. I don't want to do that. I don't like doing. I just walk. I'm getting a tan. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking November. I'm still getting tans. But, I just love the fact that these guys are going to fight. And I heard Eddie Hearn the other night when I was coming up. I was down in the bottom at Miami. So I'm driving back up. I'm right about at Davie. That's kind of where George Kambosos was training when he was here with his coach. And Davie is right above Miami. So I'm about there, right? And I heard Eddie Hearn. He was talking, and he was like, in a blue sky, it'd be like catch this Jake Paul fight, get a lot of money for an easy fight. You know, he was like AJ. They was talking about AJ, and they wanted him to get back going. And you know, he's pumped up and he's excited. But we got to think, AJ's not been active, coming off of a knockout. Jake is already in prime shape from a camp, and you don't have to really burn out. And I know Coach Wade knows how to fizzle him down and keep him, you know what I'm saying, where it needs to be. So I don't think of it. That was an alarm, but I didn't think of it as him burning down because he's been in camp so long now. I just think of it as it's a long camp that have levels and stuff. So what did you think about it? Did you think about like him already doing the camp? Like they were supposed to be fighting right now. We supposed to be boom. We supposed to be in the building at the Caseo Center.
Yeah. He was
yeah.
already fighting. Already training for a fight, and he's fighting not only a smaller, shorter person, but a southpaw. So he's gonna have to scrap all of that and start over. So I don't. The only thing that he is probably in condition, and then now he can just now start working on other stuff. But this is a completely different fight. It's like the contrast of fighting Little Mac and Piston Honda, you know, and Mike Tyson's Punch Out. You know, it's like, you know, one of them is jumping up, you know, to hit you with the star, and the other one is coming punching down at you. You know, AJ is a big human being, so
oh my God,
very powerful.
Yeah, but man, Conor Benn looks strong, and yes, those title belts are real. You know, this house is responsible for at least 30 of them things, bro. Like, so just so you know, I'm sorry. And I even got the replica of Archie Moore's, which, you know, I'm in control over that. And his fist. And his fist in bronze. So, yes, it's good to be me. Better to be me. But no, did you see him? He looked like he about to fight right now. And I'm looking at Chris Eubanks, and I'm going to tell you what I see. His body looks good, but from the neck up, he looks sick.
You know what? You have to understand that when people are from different parts of the world, the diet and everything is different, right? Like Chris Eubanks, he Junior. For some reason, he always looks like he has jaundice to me or something. Like he looks very pale, which means that he's anemic. Actually, he's anemic.
Yeah.
That's not a good situation.
He does not look strong.
Yeah,
he's trying to play this. He can't even. He blinking. This don't look good. I mean, a person who don't know what they're looking at, don't know what they're looking at. He don't look strong, and he probably right now. He does not look strong. His body looks good. When I see his face, I work in critical care, life, death, ICU. I've been in all of that, so I know what's about to happen to you when you're about to say bye-bye. You know what I'm saying?
Well, don't get it twisted though, because one thing that like I once was in Germany as a co-main event, Arthur Abraham, and Marquez, right? And the boy Arthur Abraham looked like a runaway the day of the weigh-ins.
But those guys were younger than this guy is now.
Oh, true. But no, let me finish this too. This is what these Europeans do, and they were doing it because Europeans are big on blood doping and stuff, right? So in America, you can't really get away with it. But Arthur Abraham at that time had somebody come to his hotel with an IV and intravenously put like all of his nutrients and B12s and everything back in him. When he walked down. When he made his ring entrance and he walked down the aisle the night of the fight to fight Jermaine Taylor, after he went through the weigh-ins the same way. The wife was they had the camera on her, and Jermaine Taylor's wife, and she said, who's that? That's not the same guy.
Oh yeah. That's why my guy with the peptide thing, man, it's a real deal, man. People who understand recovery better. I got a couple of videos that I decided to do when I was in the gym. I did our walk, and then I did my basic movement. I just had to pump blood in my body. So I was giving people a demonstration of what, a couple of weeks ago I covered intermittent hypoxic training, understanding breath work training for the conditioning of the body, and how do you get the cheat code for oxygenating your blood in your body, right? So I did that. That's up there pinned on my post. So today it was more or less giving people an opportunity to see what doing more different type of muscle shockers to you, because there's just a way that people train that I see everywhere. And I'm like, you don't understand what you're doing. You don't quite understand what you're doing. And if you're doing something that you got from somewhere else, you don't truly know the science behind it. So you're just going around picking up a lot of different ideas from people, but you're not understanding the base science of that kind of workout. And I tell everyone that I'm trying to give advice about when it's talking about training, bro, I'm on such a level, it's scary, and I don't even talk about it. But then sometimes I say, hey, Eric, you're not serving them higher. And I was saying the eccentric training methods are something that I don't think people understand unless they see somebody copies a drill that they see somebody, but they don't understand the science of eccentric training. It's the moment of taking the exercise and slowing it down in the midst of an explosive move, but you gotta
Man,
have a method in which you're developing different reactors in the muscle fiber, because there's 641 muscles in the body. You can't hit them all like just this, right? You got to understand drop set. So when you pushing it up here, you drop it and catch it down, push it, drop it. And that's more of an activated muscle. That's what you'll do if you're going into an Olympic training center and you're working with world-class explosive athletes. I got to work next to Marion Jones, next to Justin Gatlin, Sean Barber, Sean Crawford, all of these, Mickey Barber, all of them were gold medal Olympians, every single person, right? And then you understand Trevor Graham, Victor Conte. You get it? Like, there's a certain thing that you're doing. And see, I had already had a science of taking a muscle and doing what we call overloading and getting the blood in that thing where the muscle's still big, but it's strong and it has endurance. And I just see people building muscle. You remember when I got on Tank's trainer on the
oh
video that
yeah,
I did? Because I know what he's doing. I know what he's not doing. He's not doing the science. He's just putting exercises together because it looks cool. Now he studied grabbing some exercises, but there's a method that you put it together in a sequence in which I can tell you know what you're doing, or you're just taking somebody else's ideas and gluing them together. That's not training science. And so I've been building bodies since the late 80s, like literally since the late 80s. It's 2025. I've been doing it at a very high level. So I want to make sure that I'm putting it out there. So I did a couple of little tutorials and in my stories, just there was no highly produced stuff. I was just walking. I ran into my spot and just started doing a little something. And I just want to start introducing people to real next level stuff, because what I just watched with Chris Eubanks, it said to me, you got great boxing coaches in Matt around you. But when I'm looking at how you look, I don't know the level of person with nutrition, because his body looks,
how old is he now? 36.
yeah, he's like 36, 37, but his body looks good because he got a great frame. You know, he got a nice, lean, long kind of frame, and he got good bone structure in his face. But what I don't see is in his eyes. Like he couldn't even do a flex after Conor Benn is like that's just, hey, I got that smoke too. You have to do a little bit of here's back at you because he got the look, but mm, I know, I know this.
Yeah,
This tells me everything
yeah, yeah.
right in there, and I'm like coloring good, muscles look good,
The face,
facial
the eyes
expression,
sunk in are
facial
big like this.
expression, and it ain't even that. It's just the expression. It's void. It's void, and so that that
You really know what it is when you see that is that he's left his he's left to fight in the gym, as they say. He has no zest right
yeah.
now, and now these next couple of hours are going to be, detrimental to everything that he does because if he doesn't eat the right way or put these nutrients back in his body, then he's gonna not have that zest. He's not gonna be able to get on his feet or whatever. In the last fight, I noticed that he was very economic. Even then, I was worried that Ben was going to outwork him, but Ben is just too small to beat him.
Well, I just think Ben could have beat him strategically. He moves. He only walked forward. So
Yeah.
you got to learn how to use the ring as well, and that's what we call the periodic table of boxing. There's more than one way for the fight to be going. Now, he can handle you when you're coming forward in the later half of the fight, but can he handle you when he's walking into your punches? See, people
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to pull out the simple task in boxing. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
got the books. Situational boxing, pressure fighter, southpaw, someone who hits low and fouls. All of those things are scenarios. Are you training for scenarios? Absolutely not, because you're really so caught up in how you look doing the stuff you're doing, winning and sparring, those titles that you win in sparring, and getting all the love that you get when you're in social media talking about your next fight coming up or showing clips of the last fight. But what you're not doing is you're not going to fucking school, and you need to be in school. Because I have to say this, you know, you go to a doctor. Tell me what doctor have you gone to that did not go to fucking school? Name one. How many doctors did you go to that didn't go get a degree first? Right? We're not talking about a certification. We're talking about a degree. All right? Answer this. How many planes have you gotten on and the fucker don't have license from aviation school? You ever been on a plane where the dude don't have license?
I better not
Exactly.
have.
So, and how many lawyers have stood in front of you and helped you out and did not go get license in the school? He got his education to be a lawyer in a school. How many martial arts schools have you gone to and the instructor has not gone to martial arts school? Everybody got a fucking school except boxing. And it's the dangerous sport. And it's the only sport that everybody's dying in. 13 people a year. So you got to learn why you do what you do first. Just like they tell you why you take a scalpel and cut a person's skin this way or that way. So you don't go in there messing people up. You have to teach a pilot why and how to fly in turbulence, but why turbulence exists. And then when should you do X, Y, or Z when you're behind that daggone steering wheel? Right? And then you learn how to do it. You don't learn how to cut into a brain and how to take out a liver first. You learn why that thing is there, and then you learn when you need to do it. When it's black and rotted, you take it out. You get me? So that's what boxing is, and so that's why we teach boxing backwards. We teach why, when, how. Everybody else teaches how, and then when they get hit, they're like, what happened? And then they learn why they lost. So they do it backwards like that. We teach it backwards. We teach what's important first. First, you need to know offense, defense, concept, theory, all of the shit that really matters. So when you're in a situation and you've drilled the muscle memory to a place that it's second nature to you, subconsciously, even when you could be knocked out, you can still do exactly what you need to do because you've trained your body through fatigue in that manner. And that's not what guys are doing. They're showing you new mid drills every day. So you can't get anything in you anyway. So there's
Morocco that. In the house.
Who that?
Morocco.
Oh, yeah.
Good day, brother.
Let me see, my guy. I see. What's up, man? It's chilling. Welcome to the fight show. We in the building. This is a great fight situation. So now, when it comes down to this Conor Benn fight, we're going to go ahead and talk about this thing and get into some real X's and O's. Because what you just said, I have to take this with a grain of salt, that he's too small. And I didn't see that. I only saw 3 rounds that looked like he can't really figure it out. Mm-hmm. I typically would have said that, but he is different. He knows how to fight with the way he boxes. And not a lot of guys can do that. So you learn technical boxing to get you out of situations, not to stay in that posture like Devin Haney does, like lives in that posture like Shakur Stevenson. And I like to see those guys fight in good fights and good matchups. But when they are not in good matchups, you know, what you find is that is just, they're not fighters. They're boxers only, technical amateur boxers in the pros. And that's not exciting in boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard lost 12 pounds in a fight, and he was fighting. He lost 12 pounds in a fight and been out for 5 years. He lost 12 pounds in a fight that when he was fighting, he was biting down on his mouthpiece. He was showing you that I'm willing to die in this ring. Marvin Hagler walking on top of him, pop, touch, touch. And Marvin Hagler, one of those guys with that hard bone density, real strong knuckles, knowing how to hit you, knowing how to break you down slowly, methodically, walking down on top of that. He's a fucking southpaw. Then he's just clubbing and walking and just on top of you, touching, combinations over the top, under, here, then pop you with a stiff, sharp jab from that wide-ass cobra back. Bah, bah. And Sugar Ray Leonard's in the 9th round, like, throwing up blood in his mouth and just bites down on his fucking mouthpiece and just, fucking dog. I was like, you can't teach that. And that's what you don't see. Willingness to throw it all out there and say, it's going to be you or me.
But these guys come from a different background, man. You know, these guys come from a different background. When you're authoring from the streets of Baltimore, when it all comes back, you're going to be like, I ain't going back.
Yeah. And I can speak to that Baltimore shit because, I can't, it ain't nowhere on the planet Earth I can go and be like, oh man, they crazy them. Absolutely nowhere. Boy, I've seen it all. You feel what I'm saying? That's why when I seen some of these guys, but guys don't make it out of there. That's the thing. Because it's a real jungle. Like, it's so much of a jungle. When the show The Wire was being shot, like they had to stop it because it was getting crazy on sets. Right. Like they had to, it was like a write-up about it that this has been designed. It's the belly of the beast in the United States. Philly's rough, Brooklyn, Harlem, they had their rough spot. It's just something different about Baltimore.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Something different. It's just something else about Baltimore, man. And that listen to the dialect, the way they talk. Listen to the way they sound. You know what I'm saying? Like Geechee is in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like it's areas where that slave ship came off and dropped people off, tribes of people, right? And they got this different thing, man. And it is different. And Baltimore,
anywhere, and we got people from all over the world listening right now. Anywhere where the city meets the rural area or the country, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Baltimore,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cincinnati,
St.
I've been there
Louis,
too
you
on
know,
business. Yeah.
Houston,
Yeah.
Atlanta, you
Yeah.
know.
Adrian Broner, coach, used to come down to our gym, and I didn't even realize it then because nobody knew him because he didn't have Adrian Broner. This was way before his coach. What's his name again? He was my uncle's,
Oh man, I can't
protege,
believe I forgot coach
but he passed away.
starts with an S.
Yeah, because we had Smitty. I know, but Adrian Broner's coach.
Stratford. Mike Stratford.
Yes. Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go. Oh, you
And
still
I
got
didn't
something
know
up
until
there.
I seen him on one of my videos, on
Yeah.
my videotape. And I was like, yo, and I realized, yo, and then because my coach was everybody's protege. Like, what's his face? Barry Hunter, you know, the juniors, the Gary Smith, Gary Russells, all of it. Like he was like everybody under that mom, man. Like I'm like, man, you get around, but he had that energy. He's all over. And when you get under him, they said it was just like Frank Lucas. You around him 1 minute, and the next minute you're working for him. Cause he just had that charismatic stuff.
Yeah,
We'd be
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
anywhere,
You're an
man.
OG for real.
50
Yeah.
people in a restaurant just sitting around listening to boxing stories. These people don't know shit about boxing. That's how it was going out. I do the same thing. But when you look at, The Godfather, we did that, man. We just had times, man. Like, that's why I knew how crazy Oliver McCall was. That's something crazy. You know what I'm saying? He will do anything, anywhere. And we used to be out, man. I got stories, man. I just can't wait to sit around and just keep telling these stories to my son. And it's just because the sport of boxing gives you so much. You gotta appreciate it when you got it. So I crank out a lot of content because I know it's somebody's first time, and I know it's somebody's that's looking at me and saying, "Yo, that dude know boxing." Like I used to look at Al, Al, Coach
Bernstein.
Mitchell. I used to say, damn, that man know boxing. And I used to look at just the great minds of boxing and how attracted I was to watching them teach boxing. I'm like, I want to be that person for these individuals because when you got somebody to grab onto like that, boy, it's hard not to love boxing. And I don't know, Otis, I was at a a global international companies, kind of like a networking event yesterday morning. And I was going to talk about, when it was my turn to stand up and introduce my company, my business, I was going to talk about, my production and promotional side of things in the company. And then I was just like, my spirit said, no, you've been in this boxing game for 4 decades. You need to say that and you need to let them know. And I said, we work with critical situations, Parkinson's, and people with real critical scenarios, life or death. I like, boxing cures is basically my angle. So I talked and I left, because we only got like a short amount because it was amount of people in there. It's a power company. Man, when I got done, I got attacked. People were like coming at me like, it was just like all these stiffs, all these corporate people, and there was like boxing, like it was like people trying to connect and do stuff left and right, man. And I was invited by one of the lawyers who's a sports agent that actually, I mean, he's a dentist, my neighbor, and he invited me, and it was crazy, man. He was like, and he left her, boy. It was over, so. I mean, people were like, "Yo, I've been trying. I was hoping to get to you." Like I felt like Jordan, but I do know people love that boxing. So, it's our job to serve this stuff up. And so that's why I do this, man. Like, this is so important to the people. It's so important to the people who are listening and learning. And a lot of people that just don't understand what you guys had to go through, what us as coaches have to go through, and what you better go through if you are a trainer, and what you better go through if you are a fighter. You better go through it because you got to, because I done been baptized by fire. He done been baptized by fire. You know what I'm saying? You went through the pressure cooker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You went through the pressure cooker. I got put through the baptized by fire first night title fight. It's like, holy shit. Like, you out there on Quiz Street, neuroplasticity. But you know what? It's all because you're supposed to be there and shit, man. But I'm gonna pull the rabbit out of the hat and let Nostradamus give that prediction, because I think you know in your heart who you gonna say gonna win that Conor Benn versus Eubanks 4.
I think
Break it down first, set it up, and then get it to me.
Well, like I was saying, I think that you have to look at it this way. You know, there's a lot of variables outside of boxing that these young men are dealing with. They're both, domestic stars, like on a major level, and people have been talking about them even before they were born. They're almost like Cyrus or Jesus Christ, if you may, right? Because their fathers were so famous that they, the fact that they are even on this stage is like, you got to salute that, because I don't see Michael Jordan's son in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Like many times when you have a professional, even just a professional athlete as a father, you don't even have to be the best. Then that means that you're gonna kind of like not even go that way, because like they've already stolen the light in that situation. So, but the fact that these guys even be on this stage is big. I think that Ben has something to prove. Definitely, he's gonna come out and give a better account of himself. It's unfortunate that he doesn't speak with his father the way that you would think that he would. Him and his older brother doesn't speak to the family at all, and I guess him and his dad are on terms. But I would definitely be tapping that guy's brain for this type of fight, because he knows what to do. He doesn't have his father's attributes as well. He's shorter. He does have power in both hands. I noticed what you were talking about earlier. He's a straight line guy. He comes in the front door too much. So hopefully he's changed that. He needed to be coached up. You were saying that earlier that Eubank has Bomac in his corner, or does Ben have Bomac?
Conor
Ben
not
has
Conor.
Bomac.
No. Chris. Sorry.
Chris has Bomac now, because last fight he had Roy
We got
Jones.
Bomac, bro, and Bomac is as animated as he was with Crawford.
All right, so that's going to help me bring this point home, because when he had Roy Jones last fight, he embodied some stuff that Roy Jones did. He looked like Roy Jones during that fight, like with the whole shoulder, the up jab, right? The uppercut that he kept catching Ben with on the way in, and those qualities, like helped him a lot. The thing that Ben has is what we talked about so many times before, that every great fighter has. He has adaptability, and I just said it right there. If you have a guy in your corner that is as great as Roy Jones, it reminds me of when Parnell Whitaker jumped in my corner just out of the crowd. Hey, you got to throw the 1-2. What you think I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
You know who the hell this is in my corner? So if you got ears, these are the most important things on a fighter. If you got a corner and you got some ears, you can be an average guy and you can take over the world.
No, I don't took.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that with the corner that Eubank has, and the size difference, and the fact that he's already beat him before, and the bad blood.
Yeah, the bad blood is real. And y'all, when you talk about these scenarios in boxing, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm back. Like the McRib.
the bad, he's crazy. The bad blood.
But to make a long story short, I think that he has that adaptability. Eubanks does, and Conor does not. Conor's undersized, and he's already lost once. It's just an uphill battle. So the odds would say that you have to go with Chris Eubanks. Conor is a smaller guy that can't reach the bigger guy, even though he has power in his hands. So he's not going to win by knockout. And Eubank is a cerebral fighter, man, much like his father. So he just has all those tools.
Control is good. I did see a lot of different things that I like from Conor, but he has to be coached out of certain things. Certain things are just who you are. None of them are really negative because he was very conscious of keeping his head off the line. He did a lot of slip and roll and then over the top peekaboo. So if you come forward, that's fine. Now, if you get a little back foot game, that's adaptability to a scenario that's not typically going your way, because he knows when guys feel his power, feel his punch, and even if it ain't just the power, it's a snap on the punch. It's because a guy knows how to throw that turnover like Ali knew how to do. Snap it at the end, and like even when it wasn't a hard shot that he threw, he snapped it so good that you could feel it so good. Like he was like dislocating bones because he just understood how to snap. And a lot of guys aren't working on craft like that, understanding how to make a punch more effective. So that's why you have people like myself who are not only gone through the coaching ranks and the teacher and professor, but tactician. Tactically adjust and adapt every single thing you do. Turn that nozzle just enough for it to be effective. I've taken a very, very green guy and made him peel back an experienced guy, because the experienced person didn't always realize that somebody knows how to adjust to what he's doing. And so therefore, he doesn't realize it's happening when it's happening. And so, boom, just with a jab and knowing how to take a half step back, keep your head off the line, and pivot. Pop that bump, like the most simplest combinations. We were preparing when we were getting ready to get our guy ready to fight Chris Bird. That camp, I got hours and probably over 100 hours of just sparring sessions that happened during that camp. And I said that you got to know not just to throw the jab, but understand what the jab is used for. Understand how many different ways that you can use this tool. It's a tool when you know how to use it. When you just knowing how to throw it technically, that's not a tool. That's just a skill that you've learned. It's not a tool for you yet. I've had a guy mastered heavyweights, light heavyweights, in the midst of sparring sessions that was totally going the opposite way. I mean, John Hagler was absolutely a phenom, 6'4", all the way. Southpaw, slick like Roy, 245 was his weight. You can't even make a dude like that. He was like an Anthony Joshua, kind of good frame, like really got the great body. Like he really resembled Chris Bird, but a real heavyweight. He drove trucks. He was 17-0 as a pro fighter, and he just had all of that. He was slick like Chris Bird. Boop, boop. But of course, if he 245, he popping. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And one of my guys was just having so much trouble with him not because of power or anything, because of the slipperiness. Like he just whop, and then you miss, he just pop, make you pay, pop, pop. He's somewhere else. He's a southpaw and he's a cutie.
A boxer.
And he's 6'4". And he's 6'4". And I said, I tell you what you do. You can't hit his head. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna jab him directly to the front shoulder. Don't throw a punch anywhere else. Jab him to his shoulder. And what direction do you step when you're fighting a southpaw? You're going to step to your fucking left. You're not going to step to your right when you're fighting this guy. And you're going to just keep sliding. He's not even going to pay. I say take 1/2 inch, just like we practice. You take 1/2 inch to the side. He's not even going to know you're not there. So every time he tries that straight left, it's going to always come up on the outside just enough for you to just keep doing. And then you double jab, pop, pop just to the front shoulder. While he's trying to get his game on, he's not figuring out that you're radaring his range and his timing, because you're getting enough shots off now and he didn't do it the very round I told him. He had to come back to the corner and get a lashing. And then it was like, it was not what I said, it's how I said it. You know what I'm saying? This nigga 6'7", he ain't scared of me. You know what I'm saying? But he respect me. He respect, because the day before that, he was like, when I walked into the gym and I heard coach tell you to work the other corner, he was like, oh, hell, I'm done. He's like, yo, he said, I put my head down when I was putting on my shoes. He was like, damn. Because he know when I'm in the gym, because I'm Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in your corner, you good. If I'm not, it's not going to be a good day for you. I'm going to peel you apart. And that's what we did. He popped them that whole next round after he realized, all right, he started in about a minute and a little bit over a minute into the round. He finally started doing it. And then he realized all he kept hearing was smack, because the boy's shirt was wet. He just kept hearing smack. And he was like, oh, it's it. And then it was boom. Then I said, turn that hook over. Pop! And then, and that's all. And the round was over. Yeah, he lasted 3 more minutes. They was like, yeah. But that's what I do. And it's like, that's not a mistake. I do it all the time. I like, we're going to kill him. Let's break him up and stuff. So those are things that so many trainers now and coaches, and they're not the same thing. Trainers and coaches are not the same thing, okay? So they are doing, they did for me what fighters are doing for Jake Paul. They leave so many holes in their game that it's easy to come in and dominate. And there's so many holes in boxing that it's easy for somebody with common sense to come in and take it over. Turkey Al-Sheikh, not from boxing. Jake Paul from fucking Disney. It's easy for somebody to come from the outside and take over. All you need is an IQ above 19. Nobody's paying attention. It's nothing but holes in the game. So that's why the game is getting to a point where it's elevating like it was in the 80s, because of competent people are coming in and taking part. You know, people, that's what's happening right now. So I think Conor Benn, if he got a good game plan, I don't know how well they worked on it. Is the muscle memory settled in to do the thing that he needs to do? That's a lot to change when it's your natural. And I love it about him. He's a monster in that ring. I
In his
love that
weight
he's
class.
technical. I love that he don't give a damn. I love that he likes to bring the smoke. I love that he fights like Jack Dempsey mixed with Mike Tyson mixed with Tony Zell. I love that shit. I love it because when I watch him, I'm like, I'm excited. Like I'm eating a. It's almost like when I used to watch Sugar Ray Leonard come out. I knew what I was gonna get. I knew what his brand was. He gonna bring that fucking fight to that dude at some point where you're gonna be like, I ain't never seen a combination like that. And that's what you're gonna get with Ben. So I always win when Conor and Ben fight. So, you know, the fight for the win. That's who I choose to win. The fight for the win, because it can't not be a great fight. I don't know how much Chris Eubanks got left in the tank after being on that bed in that situation that was real. His dad knew that it was real. Right now, they have to act like they don't remember that that was real. What I ain't forgot is how real it was, because I done had a guy, he wasn't under my tutelage anymore, be in a situation like that, time, and I watched his career end because of them headshots. But he was young still. And so they don't go away like a body shot. Body shot hurt worse, but a headshot lasts longer.
They actually come back at the end. Should I deal with them now every day?
Yeah. And I hate that. And that's why I'm vying for boxing like that. And that's why I got these teachings. Sorry, I got to show people, because God told me I gave you an ability. If you don't get it in people's hand, then that's a you thing. Because you got a platform, you got a stage. And I just tell them, man, like, we have to bring that number to zero, because boxing people shouldn't be dying in the greatest sport on the planet. And so there's situational fighting. There's understanding your principles of boxing in this trainer. It's everything you need. everything you gotta have. You can act like you ain't gotta have it, but these are just the books that's on the table. You don't know this, you increase your risk of being in one of those situations where you're gonna have these situations, and so
And not only preparing for the fight, but then actually, when the fight is over, they need to learn how to recover too, because that's also a very
recovery.
important part. A lot of
Yeah,
these people don't know how to recover. After a fight,
yeah,
they don't have any flat lining or winding down of the body. They just go right back to the gym, right back to sparring.
yeah.
Like all
We're
this
gonna
stuff.
do a high.
Height.
Otis, we're gonna do a sports science on that recovery, and I'm gonna bring on my guy from the stem cell lab. He's gonna come on. Like I said, you guys need to understand. You got to take other precautions after the fact, like Otis just said, because when you get into that point, what's up, Jam? Susan, what's up? It's all good. Everything. I hope you're doing great today. But you gotta have the wherewithal to do the things. That's why we teach boxing backwards. We teach, the first thing you gotta learn is why any of this matters. You gotta know what you're doing. Like you're not getting in a plane without getting licensed first. You're not going under a scalpel without the doctor having license first. So you need to get your approval to box, not at some 2-day clinic, but this needs to be something that's in your hands every day. Day 1, day 2, day 3. I'm training my guy physically because he don't have a real personal trainer. Let me learn how to train a body like a fighter, because a fighter don't train like a track star. A fighter don't train like a basketball player. It's a totally different kind of approach, period, point blank. So, and that's where it is with that. And for the sake of the sport, recovery, understanding how to treat yourself like an athlete. Going pro does not mean going to get a license. Going pro says you are totally committed now to change your life to operate like a professional inside of a sport that does not mind taking your life and does not mind keeping you broke and starving until it's your turn, right? And that is what people got to realize. Stop acting like it's a dream, because boxing, you don't play. And so when you got the right tools, it makes it as fun. So Otis tells you right now, this guy was 2-time world champion. It's not some guy, period. And I done over damn 50 camps. World champ. I'm not going to a camp that's not a championship camp. So you do the math on that. That's a lot of experiences, and knowing exactly what is the common thread in all of those camps. Different coaches, different fighters, different people. The common thread is lineage. Lineage. Nobody got there luckily. Nobody got there without it. Nobody makes it without teachers involved. Real teachers, not trainers, not coaches. Coaches work corners. Trainers tell you how to throw a jab. Get it? Teachers give you principles, and professors write the principles of boxing so that the teachers can teach it, so that the coaches can learn it and teach the fighter. And then the trainer takes the fighter and makes sure his techniques is good. There's a periodic table in boxing, and you got to know the progressions of this thing, because it's just like an unorchestrated, unorganized alliance that we're bringing structure to School of Boxing. So I think Conor Benn is going to be entertaining, and I think it has nothing to do with the skill of Eubank. I think it has everything to do with what he has left after that last fight, taking his body through that weight loss,
Yeah.
and considering retiring. Look, so sometimes you go out because you've made your mind up that I'm going to live by the sword, die by the sword, The sword is why I was born, and I play by its rules. And I think Eubanks has that mentality going into this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he know Conor Benn is really here. To act like that dude ain't really there. I seen that dude. I can tell when a dude can really punch. And God forbid if they were really naturally the same size. Forget
Oh,
it.
if they were the same size, Ben, I would go Ben all day.
Yeah.
You know, but it just, you know, people don't understand, like, you know, unless you use the proper techniques,
Yeah.
then you're not going to overcome attributes. And
Period.
he's taller than him, and he doesn't use head movement. He
Say that
walks in a
again.
straight line. He
Say that
doesn't use the
again.
jab because he's
Say,
used to his power. So
say
it's
that.
just not going to happen.
Say that again. You can't overcome attributes if you don't.
Use
That
the technique.
it's so good. Like yeah, I think he did a decent job. I think so. Second half of the fight, I feel like he just everything starts to be clear what he don't have, and that's because he's not been in boxing long. He fights in the second half of the fight like people who dream about boxing fight when they shadow boxing. Once they start getting tired, you can thump them in the face. You know what I'm saying? You can thump them in the damn thump in your damn face. Move your damn head. Thump them in the damn head. So
Yeah.
this is beautiful. This is beautiful. But guess what? We got all of this. This is happening this weekend. And then freaking just major joints. Devin Haney versus Norman. What's your thoughts? And then we out of here.
Devin Haney versus Norman. I feel like Devin Haney is of course a more talented fighter, of course a more accomplished fighter. I think that him and Bill really saw Norman against in his last fight, and they saw like a guy that looked like a wheelchair patient. You know, somebody that doesn't move his feet well, doesn't do a lot of things of that nature. And if you look at really his last 3 or 4 fights, it has been like that, but Negro Damas went back even farther. And I figured out something that he doesn't really fight like what he's showing right now. So this is something that his corner is working on, him sitting on punches and making people that don't deserve to be in the ring, get them out of there because you don't get paid for overtime, right? So that's what he's been doing. Now, here's what I see happen. I see him cutting the ring, sliding here and there, and I see him getting outboxed for maybe about 6 to 7 rounds. And then at some point in time, just when Devin Haney goes to sleep, boom, flash knockdown. You know, either Nasser Richardson once said, either he's gonna turn into a dragon at that point,
Yeah.
or he's not. So that's
Yeah.
how I see this fight going.
That's beautiful because I think you're right. I think Devin Haney doesn't even come out and try to fight for a long while. And I just think I think that kid can fight better than people really think because he said it. He said, people think I can't fight. They think all I do is hit. He said, but even hitting, you got to set those punches up. Nobody's just going to wait for you to hit them. You got to set punches up in boxing. It does change when you get to levels, though. People do know what to do with your shit. So